We're here today talking to Tom from Wojos Heating and Cooling. We speak with Tom and Bob and Chuck, and you have such a great staff here. I've been speaking with Heather and Lori out there. You have a great group of people here, and I know how important that is for you.
That is the most important. It's key to our business, basically. You know, just to surround myself with good people.
And we've talked about you do heating and air conditioning and plumbing and electrical, and we've spoken in the past and you've said it's a family business. Integrity is huge here with everyone.
Yes. The way I focus on the business, we never really, our plans were never to grow this big from the beginning.
Right.
It was just about, you know, Dad and I, when we started this, you know, we were talking about just doing a good job, and we're not going to advertise too much, and so we passed out some cards and people we knew, and it just kept growing and growing. It was just all word of mouth. And then I said, you know what, I'm not going to take on work unless I can get the right people. So it just took you know, many years to get the right people in here for us to grow, you know, with them. So we just don't hire, you know, people with minimal experience, people we don't really know, just to grow and get to work. You know, if we don't have it, we don't have it. But now we've gotten to the point where we have, you know, 24 employees, and we have, and they're fantastic. But it took years to get that.
Right.
And the reason for our success is, again, like Chuck, our manager, he's fantastic, and Bob, you know, in sales, and Tommy in parts, and then Terry and Kevin, and these guys are just. I've just been very blessed with having really good help, and that's really the reason that our company is growing and as successful as it is.
And let's talk about systems. You do service, you do sales on furnaces here. How do you know if it's time, other than if it just goes out on you, but you do clean-in checks and maybe get a little bit of an indication that way that something's heading in that direction?
Yeah, you know, it's very important to have maintenance done on your equipment. And you know, we recommend twice a year, in the fall and in the spring for your air conditioner. And what that is it's not just to make it run better, you know, by cleaning it and so forth, but it's also to make sure it's going to make it through the winter. You know, a lot of times, and you can't always tell with circuit boards and in certain components, but a lot of times you can see that a part is failing. You can see that burners are rusting through. You can see a small crack in a heat exchanger. And you know, these are things that you take care of back in September. You know, and September and October, and before it gets to like weather like we're having now at zero.
Right.
And that's why they just call it preventive maintenance. So you're doing both. And again, by cleaning the burners, by adjusting the air, by changing the air filter, cleaning the blower, that also makes it more efficient. You get more heat out of it. And same with air conditioning. You know, we always clean the condenser outside. And a lot of times you can't see the dirt inside. A lot of these air conditioning coils are double road, so they have to be cleaned out, you know, from the inside and out. Customers don't see that. They'll say, well, it looks clean. Well, it's not. You know, then it hits 90 degrees, it's going off on high head pressure. So that's why we put the gauges on it. That's the whole reason for it, and that's why it's so important.
How do you know what size? If it's time for me to get a new system, what size, what kind, technology changes in your field just like it does everything else? Right.
Well, our service techs and then, you know, our sales people and estimators like Bob, and they'll come out to the house and they'll tell you that. You know, this comes from experience.
Right.
Years ago, we used to measure up every window, you know, and do a complete manual J. Nowadays, they've really reduced the amount of furnaces and air conditioners. You know, furnaces mainly they make, you know, they only make mainly 3 or 4 sizes, but they're 2-stage, they're variable, so you can compensate for some of that loss. Like on a variable speed furnace, it's only going to run, you know, give out the heat that you need, and you know, the gas pressure would drop back down and raise back up to keep it a constant temperature. So that, as far as you know, the time to figure out what size you need we don't take the same amount of time, you know, we did in the 80s.
Right.
So things have changed a lot, but you know, you can't just pick a customer can't just say their own size. It really needs somebody with some experience.
And why would you want to do that? So if they need service, if they need sales, if they just have questions, I know you're here all the time, 24 hours a day, how would they get a hold of you, Tom?
They would just call us at 419-693-3220, or they can get a hold of us on the web at wojosheating.com.
Thanks, Tom. It's Wojos Heating and Air Conditioning.